On day one of our trip, we'll fly to Las Vegas, look around there some, and then look at the Hoover Dam. We start off the day with Andy driving us to Memphis. Then we take off for Las Vegas. As we fly over the deserts of the Southwest, we'll be seeing many vistas, irrigation fields, and canyons created by rushing water in the desert. We'll also fly past mesas. We'll be up on top of some of these later in our trip. We'll be driving through the Petrified Forest National Park later, so we'll get to see this from the ground. Soon we're flying over Lake Mead and the Hoover Dam. We'll be driving to visit this, and we'll be crossing that bridge tomorrow to head down to Phoenix. Vegas was settled by Mormon farmers in the 1850s, And then in the 1930s, the mob moved in with gambling. By the 1960s, reforms had set in and the mob had been run out, and the great real estate boom started here. Now the valley is known for its extensive gaming, entertainment, fashion, shopping, fine dining, nightlife, and outdoor activities. It bills itself as the entertainment capital of the world, and over 40 million tourists a year visit this site. It's also now turning into a large retirement community. You can tell you're in Las Vegas as soon as you step off the airplane. There's the gambling. We'll pick up our rental car and head out to explore. Welcome to fabulous Las Vegas. Get her on the way back out. Our first activity will be to drive down the strip and look at the various entertainment places, especially the casinos. We won't be going in any, we'll just look from the outside. Fantasy. The sexiest show. There they are, the Chippendales. Go ahead, get your picture. I'll slow down.
I got him.
Okay, you got them, you sure? Never to the Chippendales. Next, we'll head out and find ATM, Acrylic Tank Manufacturing. This is the group that is filmed in Tank, the most popular show on the Animal Planet, and we're going to go in and visit it. They are filming a show while we're there, and we get to see a few of the stars out in the distance on the work floor. Now it's time to head out of the town and over to the Hoover Dam. This dam is part of the reason that Las Vegas is here, because without Lake Mead and the electricity generated by the dam, there wouldn't be much water, and there sure wouldn't be enough electricity to light all the lights of Vegas. Soon we arrive at Lake Mead. Notice the Bighorn Crossing sign to the right. This will be the first of our 40 national parks and recreation areas that we'll visit on this trip. Lake Mead is formed by the Hoover Dam and has over 550 miles of shoreline. Its maximum depth is 498 feet, but right now it's at 39% of its capacity because of the drought that's been happening in this area recently. You'll note that this area is a high desert area with very little vegetation and lots of rocks. The road we're driving on crosses over the top of the Hoover Dam, and we will do that. And it used to be the main road that was between Nevada and Arizona before the new highway was built a few years ago to bypass this area. We now arrive at the dam itself. On our left is the parking garage we'll come back to and park in a few minutes. And to our right will be the visitor center with the green dome. Let's talk a little bit about this dam. It's an arched gravity dam. Its height is 726 feet tall. The top, which we're driving over, is 1,244 feet long, but at the base, it's only 660 feet. It's 45 feet wide at the top and contains 3.25 million cubic yards of concrete. It has 17 generating units, 2 of which are required just to run the dam itself. It took 5,000 men working 7 days a week, 5 years, to build this dam. The first step in the process was to drain the area they were going to work in. Then they started pouring the concrete and building the tower. Boulder City was built to house the workers, but it took them 2 years to build it, so much of their living was right beside the dam at first, in tents and hot structures. It has now grown into a major town of its own. The first project was to drain the area. They had to build 4 diversion tunnels with the drill, blast, and muck technique. But they finally got these done, and the river was diverted so they could dry out the area that they were going to build the dam in. Safety was not a huge issue at the time, and 112 men died while they were doing this. They built the dam in one continuous pour, pouring 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They also built 4 400-foot tall intake towers that can draw water from various levels in the lake so that they can control the temperature of the water that flows out and down the river. These intake towers are used to divert water to the generators. Nevada and Arizona are separated by this lake, and here you can see the old road and the new road that has been built. The penstocks are what diverts the water to the generators down below, and there's spillways in case the water gets too high. The generators are below the dam, and here's the visitor center and the parking garage that we will be using. Let's take a look around. This is the bridge for the new highway that bypasses the dam. We'll be up there tomorrow morning headed to Phoenix. Again, it's over 726 feet to the bottom of this dam. Let's look and see how this dam operates. The penstocks here take in water from the dam at various levels depending upon the water quality that they need for the exiting water. Then they send it through these pipes and down these pipes to the generator houses where they turn the generators, and that creates the electricity. The water then flows out and into the Colorado River. As mentioned before, there are 17 generators in this plant, but not all run at any one time. You can go down these elevators and take a tour of the plant and see the operation of the generators. There are also other functions of the dam. You have to have a bypass here so you can put water into the river without having to run the generators. And water pours out of these sometimes just in a huge mass. You also have the spillways. If the water gets too high in the lake, you have to have a way of dumping it around the dam. But that hasn't been a problem in a while. This is the Nevada side, and you can see it's extremely low right now, not anywhere near topping it. And this is the Arizona side. You can see the lake is low. It's over 100 feet below normal right now, and we say 39% capacity, and this is the visitor center. Now time to head back to Vegas. As we arrive back in Las Vegas, we eat with Faye Richardson, Deborah's aunt, at Red Lobster. And then we head out to look at the lights, the result of what the Hoover Dam produces the electricity for. This time down the strip, the lights give it a new flare. We didn't go in to visit the world's largest gift shop, but we did note that if it's in stock, they have it. And now it's time to leave the Vegas lights behind and head to Henderson, where we'll be spending the night. And thus we end day one of our trip.